So Chelsea looking to follow up from the brilliant performance in the Cup on Wednesday night with a first home league win of the season. Here is Ross Barkley, who got that opening goal against Grimsby. Now Jorginho.
I mean, as always, though, Matt, one thing we've got to do is start fast and start quickly in possession. We're actually doing that now. We're playing two-touch football. Great to watch, good to see. Lots of movement from players. Everybody getting involved. It's perfect because this Brighton side can keep the ball, And I think if we can keep it away from them, they'll get frustrated and that'll leave gaps.
Here's Fikayo Tomori, who had a loan spell at Brighton a couple of seasons ago, played 10 games for them. Barkley. Switching it out to Marcos Alonso. There's a goal against Brighton in his past, both for Chelsea and for Bolton. Without showing his strength.
Well, I don't know how many passes it's been so far. It's been quite a few as we lose possession, but that's great. That's great to see us keeping the ball that long, forcing now the goalkeeper to Matt Ryan to play long, and then we pick up the bits and pieces again and come again, and we've got to be relentless with this.
Jorginho. Nice flick from Willian, got it back from Abraham. He's going to have a go here. Blocked at source by Dan Burn.
Thought Willian was going to score there, Matt. That's some great movement. He's electric, Willian, when he's on form. I tell you what, he's the type of player who can really set this game alight. And I was watching him pre-match and he was shooting for goal. Yeah, 3 shots at goal, but he was spot on with it. What a pass.
Lovely ball. Pedro just couldn't quite collect it. In terms of formation then, looks like 4-2-3-1, but there'll be some fluidity between Willian, Pedro and Mount by the looks of things.
There will be, and here we come again.
Mason Mount, now then, was he brought down? Referee Chris Kavanagh says no. Not sure if it was inside the box or outside. Abraham going on meanwhile, and the result of that is a Chelsea corner.
I think there's a couple of good decisions from the referee here, to be honest. I think the first one wasn't a foul. I think Mason is sort of almost falling over. Yeah, I don't see that as a foul at all. But a few moments later, as Lewis Dunk is trying to keep the ball and looking for a free kick in his own area, the referee doesn't give it, and I like that as well. So it's an interesting moment for the referee. I hope he keeps it to that level. Corner for Chelsea, which, with this pressure, who knows?
Willian's there for a short one if needs be. Referee wants to impose his authority before the kick is taken. Moving to the near post, helped on by Alonso. Back out to Jorginho. And trying to get a touch and score his first Chelsea goal was Andreas Christensen.
Yeah, probably fell to the wrong person in both respects, to be honest. Jorginho on the edge of the box. We've seen him on a couple of occasions receive a ball like this. It just comes nicely out of there. Totally mistimes the volley. Really not a difficult execution. Should get the good timing, but maybe not hit the target. I'd understand that, but Brighton have now given the ball away. Lucky there.
Poor clearance.
And Christensen was unlucky as well. Another player, maybe a centre forward, would maybe get a better touch and better contact on the ball.
Here goes Martin Montoya. Look how quick across the ground Fikayo Tomori is.
Well, we've got used to him now, haven't we? Tomori really is a good defender, solid, dependable, reliable. Yes, he's still got a lot to learn and he is going to make the odd mistake, but basically his game is very, very solid. And of course, with that goes the pace that he's got, very quick.
Here's Pascal Gross. Nice turn from the German, bought himself some space to get the cross in. There was from Jorginho and then likewise from Alonso, not only as far as Dale Stevens.
Well, as I said, they can keep the ball. We've got to work hard, as we are, to try and win it back, and we're working really hard in these opening few minutes to get some sort of angle on the ball and really put them under pressure and force maybe 1 or 2 errors, and there we see one. Unforced error, we win the throw-in, but that's only because of pressure.
Christensen, okay, after that knee injury he suffered against Liverpool here 6 days ago.
think what's interesting as well from Christensen today is that when the ball's played square across the field to him, at the moment he's accelerating forward, as is Mason Mount.
In for Tammy Abraham. The sight of goal for him wasn't a clear one.
That's a good run, isn't it? Nice receiving of the ball in a wide position. Mason takes on the last play, cuts across him, can't bring him down, just tries to feed it in for Tammy. The first touch not the best, and the second even worse, but it's good to see us getting into those areas, and I'm sure Tammy will appreciate the run for Mason Mount.
Morte looking to give Tamori a headache here. And that'll do.
And again, good covering around the back. Again, we talked about it. His pace is exceptional. Takes no chances, which I like. I'm glad he didn't give it back to Kepa. It got a bit tight eventually, and he gets the throw-in off of Morte. And I'm sure those two don't look too happy today at the moment, but I'm sure they're more than happy with the situation so far.
They're perfectionists. Frank Lampard actually scored his first goal in senior football against Brighton for Swansea back in 1995. Here's Matt Ryan, the Australian, brought in from Valencia a couple of years ago. He's going into a dependable Premier League goalkeeper. Burn trying to cross halfway. Quickly dispossessed by Pedro, who's then given it straight to Bissouma.
He probably had a better option, didn't he, there, Pedro?
Webster.
They're confident, aren't they? Brighton playing from the back. They don't mind using their goalkeeper as well as an extra body to pass to, but from what I've seen so far, I just got a feeling there's a mistake there today. The way they're playing, I just think purely and simply because the hard work we're putting in as a front three to put their defenders under pressure. I can feel a mistake coming.
Alonso. Barkley clipping one down the line and finding his captain. It's a really well-timed tackle from Dan Burn.
It is a good tackle, isn't it? Good touch from Azpilicueta as well. Well done, Tammy. Good defending.
Barkley overran it, managed to keep hold of it though. Here's Alonso. Willian making a run. Alonso coming inside. Now Willian can get a feel of the ball. Barkley looking at the space for Azpilicueta. Barkley saw it too. Maybe didn't have quite the right speed of pass.
He's done the right thing though, hasn't he? Azpilicueta. You wanted that to come in first time. Ross Barkley now with another opportunity. Ran into trouble.
Webster. Well, Stevens rather able to take it off him. Stevens giving Mope something to chase.
Well, he's willing more play for sure. Again, against Gustafsson and Tamori, he's going to have to be a bit cuter, a bit cleverer perhaps to break beyond them. Both very, very quick defenders.
Peter watching on in his official capacity, of course. Alonso. Alonso tried to play that first time for Willian, but Montoya had read the intention. Will be a Chelsea throw.
It's a shame, isn't it? It's a great ball by Tomori, but Alonso's touch just let him down slightly, because it was a simple pass for Willian, just to fade it in behind. That's good possession without actually going anywhere at the moment. Chelsea moving it nice and quickly, nice and brisk. There is some movement off the ball, but at the moment just not got high enough up the pitch to find that final pass.
Abraham on for Mount. Here's Willian. Good numbers forward here for Chelsea. Willian shifting it, looking for room for a shot.
Well, he's looking nice and bright and lively, isn't he, Willian? You want him to use that pace that he's got cutting inside. He wanted options. He had Alonso going around the outside. He had choices in the box. He had players to lay off to on the edge of the pitch, but on the edge of the box. But he decides to go it alone. Gets the shot wrong. But I like to see Willian in this sort of mode, you know, sort of mentality that he's approached this particular game with. Sometimes he's very quiet in the early stages.
Due a goal, hasn't scored since March. Look at this, Chelsea's press on the edge of the Brighton box, and still they're going to play it short. Saw Arsenal try this at Watford and not get away with it. It's incredible how this has been adopted by every team. Just because you can play it to somebody inside your penalty area now doesn't mean you need to every time. He's offside.
No, well, the problem is no one else has got an Andy Carroll, for instance, up front that you can play longer. I mean, we saw it perhaps in midweek from Grimsby, where they had a period of playing it very, very long and very direct, and it worked for them. But there's not many teams in the Premier League that play that way, because they haven't got that physicality up front to do it.
Here's Bissouma, chance here for Brighton, and now Pascal Gross. Christensen able to get it away.
It's half a chance for Brighton, wasn't it? First opportunity perhaps going forward, but that's when Chelsea can break.
Willian asking Abraham to chase it into the corner. He's more than prepared to do that. Oh, and it looked as though he was about to get away from Lewis Dunk, who could only stop him by foul means.
No, I'm not sure. Once you give the foul, I'm not sure if that's worthy of a yellow card. Having said that, I thought Tammy slipped. I think there is contact, the slightest. There's a hand on his back. After that, as we see, he slips over. I think the referee's given Tammy the benefit of the doubt, and he's probably right not to give Lewis Dunk a yellow card. But he was away. It's unfortunate.
I would assume that seniority means that Willian will take this. He's having a chat with Mason Mount, though. Ryan doing his best to organise those in black in front of him. Willian was the decoy. Straight in from Mount, great ball too, back off the post. Any touch from Abraham, it would have been 1-0, it was nearly an own goal. It was a teasing delivery from Mason Mount.
Do you know what, it's a fabulous ball in, and we're looking at Tammy for opportunities. That's a big opportunity. For me, he's got to score. He's done everything except made contact with the ball. A great run across the back line. And it certainly lifted the crowd, and this is something we probably needed.
Chance of the game so far, nearly 15 minutes into it. Christensen. Pedro switching it from right to left. Good ball. Willian able to control. Shifting again, going for goal again. He's determined to score today. Defending the game from Tomori, he's surely being fouled, but still made sure that he won the ball.
Yeah, the referee plays on, which is good because we're in possession. Tomori's okay, thankfully.
took a whack there, and the referee didn't like that. Barkley. Here's Alonso. Abraham and Mount in the middle. Pedro arriving too. Quite sure what that was.
No, that's not like him, is it, to be fair? He's gone for the big one. He's just trying to wind it up with tons of pace and get it into that near post area as the runs were coming in. Players understand that. Yeah, it's one of those, you just get slightly under the ball and it just flies over the top of everybody and out for a throw-in. This was the ball in from Mason Mount a few moments ago, which, well, it's a gilt-edge opportunity for Tammy. He's there, isn't he? He's there to head it. He doesn't get the contact. He'd be disappointed because that's a good chance.
But what we've seen this season is that he's not one of those who lets a missed chance bother him particularly. No,
you're right. He won't. He'll keep going and he'll keep trying to see if he can get some contact, as Brighton now play some decent football.
Webster charging out from defence here, away from Barkley. On he goes. All sorts of space left side. Here's Gross.
Well, they lost their way a little bit, Brighton, didn't they? They were suddenly in a good position, but totally lost their way. And terrific work from Pedro and the rest of the lads to get back into position. Yeah, looked dangerous for a few moments there. We were all over the place, but by going a little bit wider, just gave us a little bit of a chance, really, to get bodies back in.
Away from Bissouma. Jorginho nicely rolled it out of the reach of Morpay. Here's Mount. To Willian despite the deflection, maybe because of it. Alonso and he not on the same wavelength.
Oh, maybe right idea. Just poorly executed, really. Good run by Alonso, to be fair. Every single time Willian at the moment is receiving the ball, he's coming around the outside to give him another choice, another option.
Nice from Willian. Barkley turning away from him and into traffic. Oh, his dummy. He ended up fooling himself.
Come on, Pedro again. I've seen a great deal of him, have we, so far, but what he's done has been decent. Again, charging forward, love to see it. Nice and positive. Tries to take on two players. Look for a little nutmegs at the end, I think, Pedro, but take the throw in. Obviously, Brighton's problem is finding Morpay up front. He's making a lot of runs, but we'll find it very difficult to find him at the moment and give him some support.
Toward Abraham. That's what you get from a 6-foot-plus lone striker. Now Barkley opening up for the shot. Good block on it from Moy, but it span out nicely for Pedro. Ricocheted back off him, and Montoya got it away.
That's unlucky. Run nicely for Pedro, didn't it? Run just to get the shot away on target.
Good play from Mount. Webster managed to get to the cross before Abraham, but Chelsea building up ahead of steam as we approach 20 minutes gone.
You just feel there's something coming, you know, and it's one of those, if it doesn't come by half-time, then they've got to go again second half. But you just feel we're winding things up, the movement's been good, just waiting that final pass, aren't we?
Pedro. Willian. Jorginho in first time for Abraham, hit Webster. Zate able to get it away. Chelsea dominating the ball. He said too soon. So we'll go up here, surely as and when Morpay gets near it.
And again, giving the ball away a bit cheaply, but having said that, Brighton not showing enough going forward to suggest that they're going to cause us too many problems. But you never know, you just don't want to give them an opportunity, and we just need to get that first goal.
Callum Hudson-Odoi behind Hilario there, one of the options on the bench today. And the goal scorer from midweek, Reece James, is on there too. Willian. Is this his moment? It's a really good block.
Yeah, well, that's one thing they do, don't they, Brighton, is they get some decent blocks in. Two centre-backs are very, very strong.
The referee was concerned about Tomori, which is why he stopped it rather than let Chelsea play on there. It's early days, you don't want to overhype him, but he's everything you want in the centre-half for Kayo Tomori. He's quick, he can tackle, and he's really brave as well. Knew he was going to get hurt then.
He is, and he's got a lovely mentality, lovely way about him. You know, he doesn't get flustered, he doesn't panic. Now we see he's just been bundled into by Basuma. Other players might not have got up as quickly as he has, and he just shrugs it off, just says, you know what, it's part of the game, I'm getting on with it, I'm enjoying playing. It's got to be a booking for Christensen. Just sloppy play, really. Yeah, it wasn't a great deal of movement in front of him, to be fair, but he gave the ball away cheaply. And Morpay was going to get away from him. Here we see it, just holding him back. I think the referee had no choice there. But it's a sloppy yellow card for me.
A long time to tread carefully as well for a centre-half. Half of the first half left.
Just lacking in a bit of atmosphere of the ground, isn't it, Matt? And I just wonder if, you know, we actually need to, as players, they need to create that. Great ball from Lewis, don't.
Toya just about got it. There's that man again, taking it off the toe of Gross. Barkley on for Willian, break on here. Pedro and Abraham providing the pace.
I don't even think Willian needed to play that ball there. I'd love to have seen him taking it another 20 yards further forward and then just commit a defender, but he had nobody in front of him. Yes, of course he's going to have players chasing him from behind, but no one in front of you. Keep going. Commit a defender that's trying to stay in a good position to mark our forwards.
Toya. Takes a supreme amount of confidence to do what Brighton are doing here, but they're doing it pretty well.
And they got away with it. They were lucky there. Pedro read it really well in the end. Good work from Chelsea. But yeah, overconfident to me, that Brighton. That's like, you know, we'll gamble because either we're going to win or we're going to lose. It wasn't a question of, well, let's shut up shop and just be safe.
Morpay looking for Alzate. I'm surprised that reached him. Azpilicueta looked favourite for a moment. Here's Dan Burn. Recovered from the Chelsea skipper. Now it's a battle between Moy and Willian, and Moy with a firm but fair challenge won it. Alzate again. No deflection on that, just a rotten cross behind for a goal kick.
Surprising, wasn't it? Because the way you saw the ball go, convinced there was a deflection, but neither player, both attacking or defensively, suggested that the referee got it wrong. So I have to say it's a really dreadful cross.
A bit of a Sheffield United feel about this Brighton style, with Dan Burn a kind of overlapping centre. You don't normally see a 6'6" defender coming up and playing as a winger.
It's a strange one, but you have to realise that someone fills in for him. he's going to make that run. You know, he's a big lad. If he gets himself into a far post area, he's going to cause problems. But dribbling with the ball doesn't seem to be his best asset.
Good pressing here from Brighton, forcing Chelsea to go back to Kepa.
Certainly using him well, and reluctant to play the ball long, but again, supremely confident Chelsea. Played the ball really well.
Alonso. Mount with Moy in his way. Jorginho looking for Abraham. Dunk got just enough on that for it to carry through to Ryan.
Yeah, we've seen Jorginho do that sort of reverse pass blind. I don't think it was on there. It was the wrong angle. I think and that's when we say we're forcing it a bit, because Brighton have done a job on us over the last 26 minutes or so. You know, we've not really done enough in front of goal to cause them too many problems, and you just feel that they're going to make us force the issue, and just got to be careful we don't leave something open at the back. Good block there by Alonso, by the way. They're just gaining confidence, Brighton, as well.
Here's Webster. £20 million he cost from Bristol City. They paid the same for more pace. Two standout players in the Championship last season. You can see why they went down that road, actually, with Potter having managed in that division last season. It's a great form of scouting.
Well, if it works, yeah, it's brilliant.
Funny, we were talking pre-match. We've got Mopé today with Abraham, Pukki as well. And started fairly well. Mopé the lesser of the three, and he's just put a needless foul on Kepa, and Kepa's reaction wasn't great either. It's Mopé who got the booking.
I think he's got that in him as well. I think there's an edge to him, which I think is what they obviously like. This is the foul. I think Kepa's made the most of it. I think it's a foul, but there's no need to do it, is there? He deserves the yellow card. Absolutely no need for the contact. Well, it certainly looks like we're going to have to find something special to score today. You know, I'm surprised we haven't done it as yet, but Brighton have been resolute at the back and we struggled.
Risky from Alonso into Jorginho, who's been heavily marked. Montoya. Needless from Basuma.
Clever Jorginho. He didn't like the first challenge from Basuma. The referee let it go on. And then Jorginho, really good and intelligent play, gets his body in the right position, one hand on his shoulder, wins the free kick and just eases the tension a little bit. Just need a little bit more. We need a buzz, we need a lift. Not getting it either from the fans or from the players. It's a bit flat.
That's what Burn will do, win headers against most players.
Yeah, I'm surprised the ball was played in that manner. I mean, all praise for Kepa if he wants to go long, but surely Tammy Abraham's his target.
Here's Gross. It's a lovely ball with his left foot toward Alzate, and a good header away from Azpilicueta.
You know what, this is a great header. It's a super ball in. And Azpilicueta's done really well to get in front of his man. It's building up a little bit of steam as well, Brighton. You just feel there's an edge to their game now, which is, you know, they feel confident they can do something, they can break through us.
Basuma. Way up for Montoya. And that looked a painful one. It's going to be a booking for Alonso too.
He's not quite got there. Having said that, I don't think Montoya fancied the challenge. It'd be one I'd like to see again. Was there a raised arm? What's the yellow card for? Yeah, led with his arm. Yeah, I think his referee's got that correct. No problem with that at all. Just didn't quite get there, Alonso. Just half a yard late. There we see the arm in the face. Can't believe there's anything wrong with Montoya, but...
Now though, Chelsea have had a problem with set pieces all season. They've conceded 5 goals from them in the Premier League. Only Watford has conceded more from a similar position. So full focus required here. Just past the half hour.
Yeah, we're at that stage of the game as well. You know, they've not done a great deal, Brighton, going forward. But any dead ball, any free kick corner is going to come fizzing in, and it looks like we'll be under a bit of pressure here. So marking massively important here.
In from Gross, good ball, good header again from Azpilicueta.
Didn't he do well, Sozar, there, with Dan Burn coming in behind him? That could have been really a problem. That's too big. Kepa should take this.
Well played from the goalkeeper, wants to get things going quickly as well.
Yeah, is there a chance?
Alonso left to right looking for Pedro.
Pedro against Dan Burn. Not going to win that one. There. No, not going to win that one. Just need to over-hit it there, Alonso. If you hit the diagonal like that, give Pedro a chance. Let the ball bounce beyond Dan Burn and give it a race, and then he's got a chance of winning it. But when he hangs it in the air like that, easy for a defender.
It's a good ball through. No flag here against Mopé. And Kepa did really well because he had to improvise. Wasn't quite sure how close to the edge of his box he was. He did enough, but here's Alzate.
Oh, that's a dive. That's dreadful. Yeah, well done, referee. Absolutely dreadful from Alzate. It's only his second game, I think, Matt, isn't it, as well? You know, he's going to have to learn quickly. You just can't do that. I think everybody in the ground saw this as he takes it past it. Whoa, over we go.
I don't know whether this should surprise me, Clive, but this is a guy that they signed from Leyton Orient, so he played National League football a few years ago. Am I wrong in thinking that you wouldn't expect somebody with that background to do that kind of thing?
Absolutely. You know, I don't know what he's learnt since he's come from Leyton Orient, but you know, he's got potential. He's got something about him. I saw him play last week. I quite like him, but that's a mentality that's crept into his game already, which we don't like.
Christensen. Pedro's touch for Barkley. Game that could do with a spark. 4 players on yellow cards already. Here goes Mount. Alonso can cross in now.
Well, easily cut out, wasn't it? Just not got that final ball right when we attack with pace and when we're on the counter-attack. I just wonder who's going to take the likes of Pedro, who's got something in his locker that suggests he's... Or Willian, I was going to suggest as well.
Barkley deflected off Moy. Where's it going? Oh, Matt Ryan was really worried for a moment. It's behind for a corner.
That's unlucky.
The keeper had no clue.
It's unlucky. I mean, it could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Could quite easily have snuck in that top corner. Yeah, in a way, you don't blame Ross Barkley for taking it on, but we're in great positions here. We've got 4 bodies in the box, and he takes a shot from 25 yards. I mean, it's a decent strike, and it could have gone in, but there were other choices available.
Mount going direct. Barkley again. What a block that was from Aaron Moy.
It was. I mean, that's better from Barkley. Really did need to do that there. Really worth taking the shot on the half volley.
Sun's coming out in West London. And Chelsea find the goal to further brighten the mood.
I just wonder, I need to get Pedro in around the box, or Willian, you know, a little bit closer, and maybe see if they can spark something special.
Alonso. Oh, it's a great ball for Ross Barkley, and what a save from Ryan. Maybe he shouldn't have been given the opportunity to make it, but you've got to credit the Australian with a fine stop. Chelsea knocking on the door loudly now.
Yeah, better from Chelsea, isn't it? A super ball in. Great run by Ross Barkley. Goes inside, then checks back to the far post. Gets good contact on the ball. Some would say, well, I can't do much more than that. At least I hit the target. For me, he's got to score. This is where it should be a goal. Good save from Matt Ryan.
Willian's corner was poor.
Well, I suppose we have to give Matt Ryan some credit for the save, don't we? Lovely ball in by Alonso, not under any pressure. I think he's got to score. The more I see it, the more I think it's going to go in.
Here's Morte looking for Alzate. And we're finding Azpilicueta. Fewer than 10 minutes in the first half to go. Tamori onto the head of Byrne. Alzate just got there ahead of Azpilicueta. And Jorginho.
He's done well there, Jorginho, hasn't he? Good to pick up the loose ball.
Barkley can profit from a mistake from Byrne, maybe. Willian up against Aaron Moy. Who's cross in, only found Stevens. Somehow worked his way to Azpilicueta. Webster able to get there ahead of Abraham.
Yeah, they look nice and relaxed at the back, don't they, Brighton? They don't look, although we've had a couple of decent chances and good opportunities, they just look really comfortable, and I think we need to scare them a little bit more. We're not doing enough to put the frighteners on them and to really make them worried, which is bring the mistakes.
Mount.
Got good shape about them, Brighton, haven't they? We're finding it difficult to find those passes, those intricate moves that we do. Here we are, though.
It's a lovely ball over the top for Pedro! Straight at Ryan. He'll get a second go, and then hit Byrne. Alonso.
It's a chance, isn't it? Great run by Pedro. Just think that the likes of Pedro and Willian are two players for me who can pick holes in pockets.
Here's Moy, on loan for the season from Huddersfield.
Yeah, I think it's in bits and pieces, isn't it? But every time we've got anywhere near the goal, they've blocked everything, to be fair, Brighton. Got bodies in the way, and they look well organised. You know, they've got something about them defensively. I don't know if they've got enough going forward to even get themselves into the top half of the league, but they might have enough to stay in the league, which will be good for them.
Alonso, well done. Barkley with Moy at his back. Jorginho out to Alonso again. This is good stuff from Chelsea. Mount. Twisting and turning and offloading to Azpilicueta. Floated in. Alonso round the back post. What a chance. Should have been 1-0. Offside, luckily for him, spares his blushes.
I'll tell you what, some good movement from Chelsea here, much better in and around the box. And the ball in is a decent one, isn't it? I just thought this is absolutely perfect for Alonso. Was he offside? I'm not sure if he was. I think he's missed it. I don't think the flag went up. It's a difficult one to take. You've got to get it on the half volley. We all know the half volley is probably the hardest one. But he's got the ability. We've seen him score goals so many times. He's got the capability to score from there. Great chance.
It's 4 big chances that Chelsea have passed up in the first half now.
It's a big chance, isn't it?
This was the Pedro one from Jorginho's pass.
Good first touch. Too close to the goalkeeper. Again, you get your head down in those situations from Pedro's point of view. Get your head down, strike through the ball, hit the target. He's done his job in many respects.
Well, no doubt Chelsea looking the more likely to score. That's Piliqueta. A couple of minutes of the first half remaining in which to take the lead.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it, if we could just pinch a goal. You know, we've been the better side, but you have to prove it by scoring goals. And I think Brighton would be more than happy with a 0-0 half-time scoreline. So it'd be nice if we can get that little bit of extra lift going into the break.
Jorginho. Fouled by Bissouma.
Well, it's multiple challenges, isn't it? Bissouma, he's going around the pitch, fouling everybody at the moment. I wonder if the referee might think about giving him a yellow card for the number of fouls that he's given. Well, is this our chance? Just coming up to 43 minutes, you just wonder, one good ball, is this a decent delivery into the box? I don't think Alonso will shoot from here, although he's gone over there to take it, so I wouldn't put it past him. Alonso's walked away, so obviously he looked at the situation and decided against taking the shot on, so I don't think Willian will take the shot on unless he thinks he can catch Matt Ryan out at his near post. I think this will drift towards the far post from Willian.
Well, Christensen and Tomori are both waiting. Alonso's going to make that run round the back, is he? Aimed at him and got his head to it too.
To be fair to Brighton, they have defended everything we've thrown into their box at the moment. I think that sort of ball in as well is got no pace, it's got no direction really. You need that sort of floated in a bit flatter, a bit more pace on it if you like.
Mori. Pedro. Oh, great ball from Tomori to Mount. Good tackle from Montoya too.
Great touch from Montoya, he was away there, wasn't he? Mason Mount.
Willian. Can't think there'll be much in the way of stoppage time. 30 seconds of the opening 45 to go. Chelsea don't want the break at the moment. They've got their foot on the gas. Brilliant from Jorginho. Pedro takes over. A fleet of foot almost took him clear. Jorginho's won it back. He's scrapping hard in there.
Too big
from Willian, too close to right.
Yeah, too big in between the two players coming in, but Jorginho's probably been one of our best players in this first half. Although his endeavour has been great, his drive, he's trying to push players on, he's trying to convince them that we can win this game. I think you need a bit more of that, a bit more drive. 1 minute of added time, but that was a dodgy pass. Got away with that, Webster. I think they'd be the happier of the two teams. Can Chelsea, though, just sneak one?
Willian. Offloading it to Alonso. So many blue shirts in the middle. Looking for a give and go with Barkley, who held on to it. Now Pedro, can he get it out his feet here? Pedro! Normally back him to score from that kind of range. It's where he gets most of his goals from.
Yeah, seen him do that before. He just rolls the ball from the sole of his boot. Sends two players completely the wrong way, sets it up on his left foot. Just think he was digging it out a little bit and couldn't get the pace or the direction to beat Matt Ryan, but probably the last chance of the first half, and a bit of work for Frank to do.
Frustration for Frank in the first half. Chelsea have had numerous chances to take the lead. Barkley, Abraham, Pedro and Moore have all gone close. Marcus Alonso too, but Matt Ryan doing his best impression of a brick wall at the moment. It means at the break at the bridge, the score is Chelsea 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. It's like tweaking formation, maybe, by the looks of things.
I think it's got to be, yeah, because Bong will go in left back, I would think. That's his normal position, but it looks like he's going to play further forward. So it looks like 4-4-2 for Brighton. And that's Pascal Gross going up top of Mopé. So we'll have to see how that works for Brighton, but also how we can break through, because this game needs a spark. We said that at the break. It needs a little bit more from Chelsea. Been the dominant side in that first half, plenty of possession of the ball, but a few chances as well, a few good chances, but no goals as such at the moment.
Changes for the Blues, and it stays 0-0. We might see Callum Hudson-Odoi at some point. I'm not sure he has come on regularly in the Premier League.
I think there's every chance that we'll see Callum. You know, he's the type of guy who'll give us that spark, unless we get it from Willian or Pedro. You know, they're the two that might just get this second half going up top.
To put it in the stance, Cesar wants the ball back straight away. He wants Chelsea to begin the second half on the front foot. Giving it straight to Walker. There's Moore. Stevens, and that is the poor pass which Willian's been able to intercept.
Too late, Willian. After he takes his first touch, there's a great run by Tammy. There's a gap between the two big central defenders. And Tammy was off and running. Willian takes an extra touch, and by then it's too late. Good play from Willian, though, defensively. You know, we're going to need that.
Potter did play a bit in the Premier League briefly for Southampton, as part of the famous 6-3 win they had against Man United. Stick on his head to that one.
Lively the ball at the moment. Nobody can seem to keep any sort of control. Chelsea haven't got going yet. Okay, we're only a couple of minutes in, but not really being effective at all in the second half so far.
There's Jorginho. And that is a great pass to Azpilicueta, trying to get in behind Bong. Quite a fine mount. It's going to break for Jorginho again. Quick to move it on to Willian. Nice touch from him. Willian looking for the far corner. Too close to Ryan.
Too easy for Ryan as well, isn't it? No real drive on the shot from Willian. Gets the angle right for him, but I just think Azpilicueta as well really needs to deliver first time there. We had at least Tammy Abraham in the box. You just got to put it in there and give him a chance.
Oh, it's a terrible touch, and Mount's got it back. Is that going to be a penalty? Yes, it is. Oh, what a dreadful mistake from Adam Webster. He gets booked for it, but the punishment might be even more severe as far as Brighton are concerned. Fair play to Mason Mount, who didn't give up what looked a lost cause.
It's a poor pass, poor touch, isn't it? Oh, looking at that, you'd have to say there is contact. I think Mason's made the most of it. Players do. I don't think Brighton have got too many complaints, to be honest. It's a poor touch by Webster. He knows it.
Pedro took it, scored Wednesday. Jorginho's got the ball now. Obviously he wasn't on the field against Grimsby. We know the problems that there have been at this end of the ground with penalties. VAR, of course, is checking. I don't think there was much to check, to be perfectly honest, but who knows with this new system that we've got.
And the only thing I would say is that Mason gets to the
penalty is confirmed.
Yeah, Mason gets to the ball first. He's the one who makes contact with the ball. Webster makes no contact with the ball, and if there's contact between the two players, it's got to be a penalty. Big moment for Jorginho. This one.
Tammy was stood right by him for a long time there. And now Jorginho has got defenders in his way. Looks cool as a cucumber. Ryan's there trying to put him off too. There's another level of pressure with the VAR and the delays that adds to this kind of thing. But Jorginho, who scored from the spot in the Super Cup against Matt Ryan, is he going to do the hop, skip and the jump?
I don't mind what he does as long as it goes in, Matt, to be very, very truthful.
Jorginho versus Ryan then. For his first goal at Stamford Bridge. No problem. Brilliant penalty. Ryan stood still. He wouldn't have kept it out if he'd guessed right. And Chelsea, 5 minutes after the restart, have the breakthrough.
Well, it's a super penalty. Under immense pressure, I must say. You know, it's a big game for us today. And all the players are aware that 3 points will be massive. And in a game where we're really struggling to score a goal and get that final chance that says we're going to put it in, we get the advantage from a poor touch defensively from Webster, gave us that opportunity for a penalty, and Jorginho dispatched it absolutely brilliantly.
I think we can safely say he's on pens for the foreseeable future.
Well, that also gives you a little bit of comfort, doesn't it? A little bit of thought that when we get penalties, you're going to feel comfortable. We did with Eden Hazard, of course we did. And we've seen one or two other players over the years take them, but Jorginho seems to be cool enough and calm enough to be able to do it, but now we've got to be careful. And the one thing we don't do now is give anything else away.
Might get a second. Here goes Barkley. Plenty of options. Chose Pedro! Ryan made the save again. What a chance.
Do you know, it's a great chance. I don't know why Pedro doesn't put his boot through this shot. This is a great chance for him, but he really doesn't give it any oomph, as they say, and really, oh, we're in trouble here.
And it's Morpay. Tamori, can he catch up to him? Morpay holds on to it just for a little while. Tamori got something on it.
That's brilliant defending, you know. We talked about Tamori already before, but super defending.
That's the spark the game needed, that's for sure. Well, that's really clever from Bong. That was it first, at least. In from Moy. Not the worst ball in the world.
It's not a bad ball, is it? It was a decent enough delivery. Just one of those where a delivery comes like that, and you just think after you've just scored, the last thing you need is the opposition to go at the other end and score. So we've got to be patient now, keep possession of the ball and play decent passing football. This was a good chance. He just, for me, tries to side foot it in, Pedro. I think you've got to put pace on the shot, drive through it, get good contact, and usually it flies past the goalkeeper.
Tammy, as every good number 9 would do, was complaining it didn't come his way, but the shot was the right choice. Here's Alzate. Good foot in Barkley. Stevens finding Bong. Themselves a lively game all of a sudden.
Well, all of a sudden as well, Brighton are putting some life into the game, which is more than they've done so far. You know, they've just been happy to close the door, but now they're a goal down, of course they've got to do more. But it could be the lift we need. He doesn't have to do anything there, just scares us that into having a poor touch.
An option from the bench if required. He scored a winner for Bournemouth here 4 years ago. If Chelsea can do what they haven't managed to yet this season, keep a clean sheet, it will be a first home league win of the season to celebrate. Another second goal, mind you. Barkley, wow, on he goes.
Got a bit of luck, hasn't he? Probably took it too far though. Had a little bit of luck. Not frightened to keep going. Ross Barkley, if the gap opens up for him. And the question is, what have Brighton got? And I think that sort of ball is what they do have.
That's a bit too much of Abraham there. He's cutting a bit of a frustrated figure at the moment, the Chelsea striker.
Just got to hang on in there though, Tammy. You know, we know he's got the ability to score goals. We know he's capable. Just got to be brave mentally to hang on into the situation and not give up on his runs. Continue doing what you're good at, and things might drop for him.
Jorginho. We're learning about Jorginho, and that was another good example of the penalties. He's got a real strength of character. Here's Azpilicueta on the touch.
Unlucky, isn't it? It's a difficult ball to take again. We talked about it on the half volley. Difficult ball to take in that situation. And the ball just run away from him and favoured the keeper.
Zate, Tomori there again.
Been excellent, hasn't he?
Looks like he's been playing in the Premier League for 5 years, not 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's been excellent. I think Jorginho in front of him has been terrific as well. The spine of the team that you talk about often. Pep has really not had a lot to do. Just need to get Tammy scoring more goals, as always.
Gross. A bit more belief, he could have taken that on himself. Here's Moy. Zate decides to settle for what he thought was going to be a corner, but he's disappointed to learn it's a goal kick.
I think a bit lucky there. Might come off Alonso. We'll take the goal kick though. Always trust Alonso at the far post in those situations, but sometimes gets a little bit flat-footed. Seeing it again, yeah, I think the right decision. Just a bit slow in getting the ball forward, and that's how we've been. Maybe we've been a bit fortunate with the penalty, but I think our general play's been okay, but it's been too steady for me.
Willian able to take it off Mount. Abraham should be able to collect this. Mount's in the middle. Alonso's far side, it's over Alzate's head. Alonso goes down.
I think he's lucky there, Alzate. I think he's just stood his ground. Maybe there's a coming together, and the referee's seen it that way. I think it's one of those you can see them given. The longer the game goes on, still plenty of time in the game. The longer it goes on, the more Chelsea have got to be resilient at the back, and the game becomes more staid probably because of that.
Ranter and a raver on the touchlines, by any means Frank Lampard. Quick to get his message across. He feels it needs doing. Not sure what Ross Barkley was trying there, but I'm not sure it was that wise. There's Montoya. Alonso stepped in to get there. Broken for Willian. Here's Mason Mount.
I just wonder if Frank's thinking about making a substitution as well. You know, it's been one of those games, hasn't it, where maybe something from the bench will influence things a little bit more.
Christian Pulisic is another attacking option on there. Might be his day. Maybe if he thinks he needs to get a grip in midfield, Mateo Kovacic also available.
Yeah, I think Kovacic might be the answer with his work rate and his energy.
Surprised the officials missed that. Zate. Here's Gross with a bit of space. Morpay trying to stay on side, bombing all sorts of space. Left side, this is he. 3 targets in the middle to aim at. Kepa came and then changed his mind. And the header goes over, and the referee has a long think, and again gives a goal kick at the corner.
Yeah, I think that the header has gone over the bar. I don't think defensively Tomori's got there, yeah, as we see it. It's not a ball for Kepa. I'm glad he didn't come for it, because he's never going to get there. I've got to say, the header wasn't particularly good. Bad ball in for a centre-forward to challenge for. Poor header, though.
There is a bit of movement down below us. So there's a substitution before too long. With an hour played at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea leading Brighton and Hove Albion by a goal to nil. From Tomori into Jorginho. Barkley. Here's Mason Mount. Zate got back at him and managed to get the touch.
Did well as Zate, didn't he?
Oh, that's poor. Abraham can pounce on it. And Brighton got away with it. Ryan was just out quickly enough to smother it.
Tell you what, they do take chances at the back, Brighton, don't they? They punished once for a poor touch, and again, this time, a pass that really was never getting there. So lucky, Tammy.
Stevens looking for more play. He's working his socks off the Frenchman up there for Brighton and hoping he's going to get a chance to test Kepa. Hasn't really had one yet. And then Hudson-Odoi is imminent.
Yeah, and I think that's probably about right. I think Frank's, well, we said it 2 or 3 minutes ago that maybe he's thinking about a change, and Callum, a perfect player to bring on right now. This will give a roar to the crowd, to be honest. And I think the game definitely needs that. I mean, we have scored the goal, we have had a bit of a lift, but there's still no real buzz about it. It's one of those games you probably want to forget if the scoreline remains the same. Important we take those 3 points, but certainly Callum can give us that little bit of buzz and lift that we need.
Zate.
Positioned poorly there, Alonso.
Zate's managed to keep it away from Mount. And now Aaron Moy. Really didn't make the best of what was a very good position that he found himself in.
That's a great opportunity for Brighton. Really didn't take full advantage of that. Some poor play by us to allow them to get into that position, and Aaron Moy eventually makes the wrong decision. And we see Tammy's opportunity, good save by Matt Ryan, and now we're going to see Pedro coming off, and it's Callum Hudson-Odoi who's coming off.
Pedro, industrious as ever. The only time he doesn't sprint is when he's coming off. On in his place. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi, who scored on his return from that Achilles injury here on Wednesday against Grimsby. Needed a couple of goes, mind you, but persistence paid off in the end. He's still just 18 years of age. Hasn't scored in the Premier League yet. He's got, what, 20 minutes or so to see if he can do so today.
Well, let's hope he gives us that spark and that lift and that buzz that we're needing right now. We need to see this game through. We got the advantage. Just got to take it on another step further and secure the win. Hopefully keep a clean sheet, but Callum certainly can give us that little bit more that we're looking for. And of course his rehabilitation is important.
Quickly into the action. Brighton waiting to bring on Aaron Connolly. Hudson-Odoi looking for Willian. But I tell you what, if he was 6'5", not 6'6", he might not have reached that. And Brighton will get the opportunity to make the change, and Moy is pretty close by to be able to come off. And for the fourth game in a row, the Irish under-21 international Aaron Connolly gets some Premier League minutes.
I saw him play last week and I thought he looked quite effective, Connolly, when he came on. Lively, buzzy, certainly danger.
Hudson-Odoi on the chase. Montoya for company. A kick on the Achilles, not a bad thing probably. Abraham. On the ground, unable to get it back. Azpilicueta inadvertently plays it into Morpay. And now Connolly can test the legs of Christensen, and that is fantastic defending from the Dane at the heart of the Chelsea defence.
And that's how you deal with it, isn't it? And Connolly's been brought on for his pace. Well, there goes our Rolls-Royce defender, just going up another gear. Realises he has to as well, and has to be pushed at times, and does it really well.
Defending from Azpilicueta this time. Jorginho. Switching it to Alonso. Lovely first touch from the Spaniard. Here's Hudson-Odoi. This is where he can be such a menace. Decided not to have a run at the defender that time. Jorginho. Lifted in. Abraham didn't attack it.
That's strange, Tammy there didn't make any movement towards the ball. Not a bad ball in, but getting a little bit straight. Difficult to find someone on that sort of line, if you like, and easy for Matt Ryan. I think it's just one of those games, Matt, we're going to have to see through. 66 minutes gone, and unless Brighton make another mistake, you know, we might as well take the 1-0 win and keep a clean sheet, but Brighton are on the attack here.
Went to Connolly first time, but he'll get it off Azpilicueta's header. Here's Bong. Good centre-forward play from Tammy Abraham there.
It's got to be a foul, hasn't it? Any player that makes contact in those situations, it's bound to happen. Now we're going to see Kovacic come on. I thought he might. I think we need that industrious endeavour that he gives to the game.
Ross Barkley, the man who is taking his place. It's a substitution that we grew accustomed to seeing last season. How's Barkley done for you today, Clive?
I think he's done okay, Matt. You know, I think he can do more. I think he can do better. I don't think he's disgraced himself, but I think he's it's one of those games that maybe making one or two wrong decisions at times didn't quite work for him, but good to have Kovacic and Jorginho. I think they work quite well together, the two of them, at this stage of the game. You know, that's what lets him down with his game, because he runs into those gaps really well at times, and then he gets there and he suddenly goes, I don't know what to do now, you know, and I think he needs to be able to make that extra pass just to take him on to another level.
It's quite incredible, Clive. You think Chelsea's two centre-halves today, 23 and 21. Not many, if any, Premier League teams that have that kind of youth in such key positions. It's really well done from Hudson-Odoi. Great strength from Mount too, even though he was being fouled. And he's carried on his run, and Hudson-Odoi is buzzing into Abraham. Gave it him back. Oh, just too heavy for Willian.
How unlucky was that? Super flowing football. The youngsters really making their mark felt. Willian's done all right as well. Just the pass was just that little bit too heavy. And whether that's because Callum's only just come on. Lovely little 1-2 with Tammy. First time ball into space. Unlucky.
5 academy graduates out there now, Clive. Something to be proud of.
Certainly is. Maybe the Chelsea fans have been waiting for this for a few years now. The academy have been brilliant over the last 10 years or so. Now we're reaping the rewards, perhaps. Let's hope so.
Keeps finding space. Christensen.
It's a great header, isn't it? Defensively, gets to the ball first, does well there.
Danger here again, maybe. Chich cleverly winning the free kick, I think we'll call it.
I think he has, yeah. It didn't even seem like a free kick, but the referee's pointed to the challenge just before that, so maybe he's bringing it back.
Well, he will surely come on at some point, Glenn Murray, if he's anywhere near fit enough.
Oh, he looks like he's getting ready, doesn't he? But I think you mentioned it a moment or so ago, Matt, about Gaetan Bong finding all this space left-hand side. You know, if Glenn Murray's on, yeah, it's a different prospect for Brighton. You know, he's the type of guy who will get on the end of things, and if Bong's in positions to make those passes, then we've got to be careful. We might have to close him down a little bit quicker.
Stevens. Montoya.
But they're being a little bit more adventurous, Brighton, aren't they? You know, getting more and more bodies into the box, so certainly got to keep our eye on things as it is at the moment, because they're beginning to suggest they might get an equaliser. It's going to be so important for us to get a second. That's a good turn.
Zate, on he goes. Great run, deflection. My goodness me, Kepa had no idea whether that was going in or wide then. The deflection completely wrong-footed the Chelsea goalkeeper. It's just a corner, and all of a sudden there is some concern spreading around 3/4 of the stadium.
Could easily snuck in the bottom corner, couldn't it? Zate with a super run, to be honest. Hopeful shot. He's got body in front of him. It's not a clear strike, but he might have had that little bit of luck and deflected in the corner. And I have to say, that's so rooted in that scenario.
It's a good ball in, free header off the bar. Lessons got to be learned here. Brighton are going to score in a minute if this carries on.
I thought that was going in. I honestly thought that was going in. As the ball's floating towards the far post area, yeah, there's players coming in at the back for Brighton. Big players, good players, especially in the air. What a chance this is.
Webster's opportunity to atone for giving the penalty away.
I think if that was Lewis Dunk, I think that's a goal. Thankfully, Webster heads it down into the ground and up off the crossbar.
Well, he was in there too. Might have been him who got the final touch, actually. But either way,
yeah.
Chelsea's goal living a charmed life just at the moment.
Yeah. A couple of times as well, Kepa absolutely rooted to the spot, both with the deflection and with that header.
The best form of defence is attack for Chelsea. Morpay couldn't quite link up with Connolly.
Yeah, we're just a little bit nervous at the back, aren't we? You can understand it, you know, we're 1-0 up at home, not played probably to our best because we haven't scored enough goals, but I think it's one of those games where you don't want to lose anything at this stage. You know, we need to keep a clean sheet. History says this season we haven't done that, so there's a bit of nerves at the back.
By like hours for Chelsea at the moment. 16 and a half of the 90 left. Zate. Willian's poor ball. Abraham goes for the up and under, safety first. Stevens got to be careful here. He was far too casual. He got really lucky.
Well, that has helped him out there immensely. You can't afford that with a player of Willian's pace to not be involved.
Jorginho. Abraham wasn't really on.
No, he's got to get in front of the centre-backs, Tammy. There's been 2 or 3 occasions now. He's just not got there, and I think you've got to stand your ground. Yeah, take the knock if it comes. Type of player who will run in behind as well, Tammy. So it's a balance between the two.
And a noise from the Matthew Harding stand, trying to help their team over the line.
I just wonder if Frank's thinking maybe as the clock ticks down and again Batshuayi on, maybe that might be an option of trying to keep the ball a little bit better.
Oh. Despite the goal they've conceded, which really was an error, I think Graham Potter will feel like his tactical switch at half-time has been an effective one. Certainly created plenty more chances. One more goal for Chelsea would probably kill it off, though. Here's Hudson-Odoi, space for Willian right side. Abraham and Mount waiting for a cross. Willian might go alone. He did! Yes! 2-0. Just what was required. Willian's first of the season, and is that enough to guarantee a first home win in the Premier League this term?
I'll tell you what, it's a super break, isn't it? I mean, the crossfield ball didn't work for Brighton. Alonso reads it. Good little header down to Callum. Well, the turn of pace and the speed of Callum just takes it forward, and a nice pass out to Willian. Leaves it, the defender isolated. Little step over, the deflection takes it beyond the goalkeeper. It's bang on target. I think you have to give the goal to Willian. The shot is a good one, and the deflection just takes it away from Matt Ryan. We'll take the 3 points, that's for sure.
As I said, Clive, it's on target. Should be a Willian goal, that.
Yeah, I don't see there's any problem with that. We all know that when they miss, when they're off target, when the striker strikes the ball, it can go as an own goal, but not on this occasion for me.
Knows how important that is.
It's relief, isn't it? And I think you can feel it within the fans. There's relief there. And the fans more than happy, of course. It's always about scoring goals, we know that. And just today, we just didn't seem to have that little bit of spark. Had the luck, as it were, with a penalty, with a poor pass, but that's good flowing football this time for the second.
Nice ball. Give you the credit that you deserve, Clive. You said you were watching Willian in the warm-up when they were doing the shooting drills, and he scored every time.
Yeah, I was impressed with the way he was going about his business in front of the goal. He looked up for the game, and I think sometimes players, you can see that.
Well, here's Tammy, this is his chance, Abraham to finish it! Oh, and somehow Ryan flicked it away, he went for the little dink. Well, easy to say in hindsight, should he have just blasted it?
It's easy to say that afterwards. If a little dink goes over the top of the goalkeeper and goes into the back of the net, then he's done the right thing. If he smashes it past him, he's done the right thing. I mean, it's good play again. He's run from deep. He's held off a defender. Physically, he's showed his worth in that respect. But he's kept his balance well, and he's showed his confidence. Not had too many opportunities today, but that was the best one for him.
Corner work short by Willian to Hudson-Odoi. Get away from Walker, who's back there defending. Missed the opportunity to get the cross in after they'd worked it short. Willian's found some space though, and that's a great ball in. It's a good clearance as well.
A great ball, isn't it? Well worked as well by the two players.
Well, They are going to go for Glenn Murray now, but it might be too late. It's going to be in place of Orpe rather than as a supplement to him.
You just wonder how fit he is, Glenn Murray. He was on the bench last weekend against Newcastle, and I just thought it was an opportunity for Brighton to bring him on in the latter stages. And you wonder how fit he was. He didn't come on. And even now, you know, you've just suggested, you know, is it too late? When it was 1-0, was that the time? Do you try and get the most out of him that you can? But at 2-0, you just feel that maybe that opportunity for Brighton has gone. And we talked about the coaching of Potter, you know, what he's learning and what he's already learned, but learning more and more about the Premier League, and maybe that's an angle that he's got to learn quickly.
October will be a big month for them as well. They've got Spurs at home on Sunday of next week, and then they're at Villa and they host Everton. Certainly those latter two games they'll be earmarking as opportunities to get points. Still got 10 minutes to go here though. Here's Murray's first involvement. Optimistic shouts of handball, and then realistic ones against Conley.
Well, he's arguing that it hit him on the shoulder and suggesting that it wasn't handball, but of course the Brighton fans behind the goal will claim for anything at this stage. Was there a handball initially? Glenn Murray, 36 years of age, looking bright there, isn't he? That's not a penalty, that one is this one. A handball. The referee's in a better position than most.
There's a quick VAR check there. Very quick, because there was no credence to the claim. Game coming up on Tuesday for Chelsea, remember, as they go to France to take on Lille. Match day 2 of the Champions League, a game really we could do with taking 3 points from.
Well, we need it, don't we? Badly need it. There's nothing better than to go into that game on the back of a win and on the back of a clean sheet as well. I think that's going to be really pleasing for the players, having looked at the goals that we've let in already this season.
And bearing in mind, Clive, that from what we've seen at the start of the season, without the first choice left back who had been Emerson, and still no Tony Rudiger.
Yeah, and give some credit to the two centre backs who are playing today, as we've already mentioned, their ages. You know, it's brilliant what they've gone in and done, but nothing better even for youngsters. They'll know that keeping a clean sheet, you know, they'll go in. It'll be high fives all the way if they can keep it.
Batshuayi is waiting to come on. One would assume it will be for Abraham at this stage. So this might be his last chance to get himself on the score sheet. He's going to be unselfish instead. Oh, Hudson-Odoi was winding it up before the touch came in to turn it behind for a corner.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that the pass was weak. That's the right idea from Tammy. Good running, poor defending by Brighton. One defender so much deeper than the others. But Tammy gets in, makes the right decision. It's just a pass that's not strong enough. Again, never quite getting to Callum.
Too much on that for Jorginho, be able to collect it still. Kovacic. Nice crossfield ball. Hudson-Odoi, really clever header for Alonso.
Good play by Callum there. Could have been lazy and not bothered to get back on side. Worked really hard to win the ball and keep it alive at the beginning.
Willian scrapping, has done that effectively all day today.
Yeah, and there's your answer, you know, forward because he's putting them under pressure.
He's already been booked, he's not going to get another one for that.
Yeah, not sure there was too much in that, but the referee feels it's worthy of a free kick.
Final Chelsea change then. Tammy Abraham is the man giving way. He has had chances, not as many as he had in previous matches, as we see the challenge again. Which left Jorginho stricken. He's okay. Abraham is going to be replaced by the man who scored twice here on Wednesday, Batshuayi.
Well, you wouldn't put it past him as well, would you? Batshuayi getting another one, the way he plays and, you know, the way he's always taking shots on. But, you know, I said it a few minutes ago, I thought this was the right move. That was before our second goal, and even more so now. You know, good to be able to bring Batshuayi on at this stage. You know, maybe we'll see a slightly different angle, and of course, extra legs.
Just over 5 plus add-ons to play. Batshuayi looking to get round Dunk. Kovacic. Batshuayi wants it played early. Didn't quite trap it in the way he would have liked. Doesn't need much of a sight of those whites of goal, does he, to let fly?
No, he doesn't. And he's certainly got the confidence, we know that, to take shots on. Probably the wrong choice there. Does well to come inside initially, but maybe should have laid it off and looked for another pass.
Close on 2 years since he last scored a Premier League goal for the Blues. 2 of them against Watford here. He's been away for the vast majority of that time.
He's had a good game today, Willian, hasn't he? He's worked so hard, defensively and going forward. You know, at both ends he's really put in a shift.
Yeah, big performances, really, in every area for Chelsea today. Tomori at times has been the standout player in the game, but Jorginho and Willian, 2 of the experienced heads, and Frank Lampard spoken about how key they will be this season. Both really good today.
Yeah, really good, and I think we need to take that on to the next game, or the next few games, to be honest. You know, this is a period where, you know, it's important we sustain the Champions League scenario, but also pick up points and stick as close as we can to the top 4 in the Premier League. So experienced heads are important. We're seeing what we get from the youngsters. You know, we're getting it from time to time. You know, not every youngster every day, but they seem to be splitting it around them. And Mason's been quite quiet second half today. We haven't seen a great deal of him. Okay, big part in the goal, of course, but yeah, I think they've been driven on by the likes of Jorginho today, who's been impressive. Tomori's been great, you know. 2 centre-backs have been good between them. So, yeah, great performance, but need to just see it through.
Unable to get it off Murray. Stevens looking to get away with missing his touch. It's optimistic from Glenn Murray and not particularly well executed.
No, slightly over-ambitious, isn't it, from that sort of position, but I guess, you know, with his record and the way he's always played, only time might be catching up on him, but certainly scored goals over many years for Brighton.
So your other old club then, you alluded to it earlier, it's sort of negative to say, but the aim for the season is to finish 17th or higher, essentially, isn't it?
I think so, you know, and I think stay in the league for sure. I think that's important for them. If they can do that, achieve that, I think they'll be not necessarily happy, but content. But I think, again, I've been seeing them play last week. I see them again, similar to today. Both games very competent on the ball, good at passing, at times good at keeping it. Not as good today because they play in Chelsea, basically, but they've still got the same problem. They seem to be weak up front. You know, they've not got an out-and-out goal scorer you think is going to get you 15 goals a season, which would help them in their cause.
Gross. That from Hudson-Odoi.
Well, I think Callum's played the ball, but there's a little bit of follow-through on Gross's leg. I don't think it's as bad as he's making out. Is there a great deal of contact here? A little bit, maybe, but he's played the ball first. Well, even at 2-0, you probably think it's a game you want to forget, really, in many ways. It's been hard work. You know, we know this season after season that there are times when you think that's a game, you know, will go into the archives and that's about all.
I know exactly what you mean, but it's also exactly what we've been looking for in a way, isn't it? Clean sheet, routine 2-0 win. Thank you very much.
And we'll have another one like this and another one. I'm sure they'll be coming through the season and we'll say the same things. You know, you can't play, at the top of your game, but you can be competitive against nearly every single side, and you can be well organised, and you can keep players in the right positions and get more out of certain players than perhaps you do with others at times. And you have to, not necessarily, they love the word grind out result. I don't think we've ground out this result. I think we've played well for this result, but it's not been an inspiring match to watch.
Let's keep the sheet clean as the clock ticks over to 90. 3 added minutes. Some feet to find the top tier of the shed with a header, but Adam Webster's managed it.
Yeah, and again, he's got in front of one of our defenders. I don't think it's a good header. I mean, OK, it's got in the second tier, but you'd have to say it's not a good header. It's a good ball in. It's half a chance. And as I said before, this is their problem, Brighton. It's scoring goals. Is of course for Brighton when you're this sort of teams that probably see in the bottom half of the league, and when you think that they've got to wait until the transfer window to bring somebody in if they're going to, or they've got to work something special amongst the players they've got. Yeah, good block by Asper. So they've got nowhere to go. They've got, you know, got to work even harder than they are at the moment to achieve some results. And of course, probably from their point of view, their results are coming against the teams nearer the bottom of the table, which is why last week's game, when they completely dominated it against Newcastle, they might kick themselves at the end of the season.
There's Byrne.
Stevens has taken a good touch initially, but now to be a goal scorer as he does. Stevens more the holding player in midfield, and the shot was weak, doesn't get the best of contacts. And see it again, just trickles forward towards Kepa, and nice and easy.
That's right. That's Hudson-Odoi. Such a boost to have him back involved. But Chelsea done this without N'Golo Kante today.
Good decision by Frank Lampard, doesn't it, to do it in the way he has. Kante needs that little bit of a break. Maybe we'll see him on Tuesday.
Just what the doctor ordered. The first home win of the season in the Premier League. The first one in the top flight here for Frank Lampard as Chelsea boss. The first clean sheet to boot too. Jorginho from the penalty spot 5 minutes after the restart. And then Willian via a deflection 15 from the end. Meaning that it's Chelsea who pick up the points here. And Clive, though Brighton gave a good account of themselves, certainly at times in the second half, Chelsea worthy winners here today.
Yeah, I think worthy winners. I think we deserved it. I don't think Brighton actually, as a strike force, created enough to cause us too many problems and to make a suggestion that they were in the game at all. I think it was all about the opening goal, wasn't it? One poor mistake at the back by them. We capitalise on it and we get ourselves a penalty. So all grateful for the mistakes, but you've got to be in the penalty area like Mason Mount was to force those errors, and that's what we've done. You know, take the advantage when we can. Not a massively inspiring game, but a very important game at this stage of the season.
On to Lille on Tuesday then, but Chelsea off and running in the league at the Bridge. Final score here: Chelsea 2, Brighton Hove Albion 0.